Today I need to get a new axe ready to work. This isn't a review, that might come after some use. We're talking about a 3.5 pound Yardworks axe from Canadian Tire. The sale price was about $38, that's with 25% off. It's a box store axe, but it is a bigger one. The length of the head is a full 36 inches. Big box maybe, but this axe has some potential. It may work out that I like it. Then the $38 I spent on it will seem like a good deal. Here it is, Yardworks 3.5 pound axe. There's our stamp up on the head, 3.5 pounds it says, from Yardworks, yep. The whole thing is mounted on a 36-inch handle, made out of fiberglass with a rubberized handle. Yeah. Here's the safety messages for dummies. It's immediately noticeable how skinny the front of the handle is below the head. The rest feels alright though. Rubberized grip doesn't feel too bad at all. Without having swung it, the balance seems okay. Let's check the edge. Oh yeah, this is as much of a club as it is an axe. Yeah, pretty blunt there. As expected, I suppose. We're definitely going to have to take some material off of this to get the face we want. Let's see. We got 4.5 inches this way. Long way is 7 inches across, yep. That's good. And then here on the pole, we've got 3 inches. Looks good. So it's clamped down, and I'm going to use the angle grinder with just a regular cutting wheel to get the shape I want. I'll start my first run right down the edge. What I'm trying to do here is make a bevel just inside of the cutting edge. I'm going to touch the cutting edge very last. So I'm taking away a bunch of material here. It only takes a second to get the feel and the visual of where the cutting's happening. Quick check there to make sure that nothing's heating up. Try to make sure that I've done the heel and the toe of the cutting edge properly. And I'll work this bevel a little bit more. It's always surprising how many sparks you need to throw to get results. So I'll work the right side of this axe a little longer. And I'll just keep pulling off material, trying to get that shape I'm looking for. And as it starts to get close, I begin to make longer passes with the grinder, because I want to have an even finish down here. And this does go on for a little while, until I'm ready to check it, so let's have a look. There's the chunky left side that we haven't touched yet. And there's the right side. Starting to look nice and smooth. Oh yeah. A nice even bevel right down the edge. This is a good start. So I clamp the axe back down again for some more work on the right side. I am making a second bevel here. This one is about 1/4 inch in from the first. I need to make sure I've got the profile right. It's the same idea for grinding. I got to pull off a lot of material while making long even passes so I don't have a messed up edge. Yeah, same concern for the second bevel as I did with the first, to have the right profile. I'm even going to take an extra second to make sure the heel and toe are shaped in correctly. This piece of work is a little faster than the first bevel, but it still takes a while. Let's take a look again. In the shine I can see that I've got the 2 bevels pretty much where I want them. Looks like a decent shape. And compared to the untouched left side, it feels pretty good. We've definitely removed some thickness, that's what I want. Now I clamp it down to get started on the left side. Same idea with the grinder. I'm looking for that first line of the bevel. but I don't like the way it feels from this side, so I'm going to move around to the bottom. Start on the heel there and work my way to the toe. Feels better. There's a lot of material to remove again, and there is no problem working my way down the blade to get to the grind from the top. I can see how the line is giving me a shadow. I'm setting that first bevel right where I want it. That's good. After some more grinding, I can start the second bevel on the left side. I'm just cutting off the little crest between my first bevel and the cheek of the axe. It's pretty easy to feel with a grinder, so I just wear it down, and that's where my secondary bevel will lay. I still haven't touched the cutting edge though. I won't do that with the grinder. Right now I'm just trying to reduce the thickness of the bit. Off the shelf it was maybe 25 degrees off center. So I want to cut away a lot of this material. In the end I'll have a slightly convex bit on the axe. And I want a nice wide stripe of a secondary bevel before this axe does any work. The bulk of the material is pulled off by the grinder, so now it's time for filing. I have no plan to go for a mirror finish here. My goal is just to fine-tune the shape of the bit. Then I'll file a little closer to the cutting edge, without quite getting there for the first run of the axe. I like the filing part. It's easy enough to file a path along the edge. Files are obviously a lot more precise than the grinder if they're a bit slower. And they really leave a smooth enough edge for a working axe. I like this fiberglass beater axe. Even this old file is cutting back the edge pretty well. It makes me wonder what hardness the bit is. Most often I find the Yardwork axes are a bit too hard. This one is not. I wouldn't guess where it is on the hardness scale, but I think the steel feels like it might be a little softer than I'd like. Now for some of these file passes I'm actually almost flat to the cheek. I'll keep feathering back the thickness. This axe will be mainly for felling and bucking, and it's going to do a lot of work, so I want the blade to be in good shape. Before long I got the angle locked in from the bevels. It's easy to feel it with the file and see it with the reflections of the light. I vary the file angle slightly to get a better bite here and there, but I am respecting the primary and secondary bevels that I made with the grinder. I'm also blending the bevels a little bit to get things nice and smooth. I want to optimize the bit's width and durability and reduce resistance when chopping. And take a peek. There's a pretty good amount filed away, and the new edge is looking good. They are blended, but I can still make out the two bevels. I haven't used this axe yet, and I want to before I really finish the edge. I want to see how it performs first. I may make some adjustments to the bevel angles, likely more acute, but I'll leave enough steel along the edge there in case I want to have a more blunt cutting edge, but it looks good to me. I am on the other side of the axe now, using the same concept and process with the file here. The edge work is never done, and I'm not shooting for perfection, but we'll get this good enough for today. I'll try this axe out on the trails. There's a bunch of down trees I got to deal with. There's enough there to test out the axe and keep me busy. Hopefully I'll like this axe and it serves me well. I do like the results I get from a grinder and a file. I'm not a fan of bench grinders, sanders, or even stones for axes. For me, file and a grinder give me the balance of accuracy and speed that I like. Final inspection here. The edge is even and smooth and has a much better shape. This looks like it'll cut well. And that's how I did the initial prep for this Yardworks axe. I may do a day one video to review its performance or something else. We'll see. Thanks for watching.